Okay, so it says we're live. All right, and the button is orange, so we are live. Hi, this is Danny Cluche coming to you from Ontario, Canada, and I am here with the whole panel of our group here. We have this hangout every Tuesday night. We talk about business, we talk about marketing, we talk about personal development, anything to do with our online businesses. We all each have our own. And so we're just going to start by just introducing everybody on the panel, and we'll start to the first, we'll go to the first person I see on the left is Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol McCaskey. I live in upstate New York. Like the others, I'm an entrepreneur and have an online marketing business. And I know Danny usually does a darn good hangout, so I'll be interested to see what she has to say tonight.
Thanks, Carol. And so next up is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, everybody. It's Catherine from California, and it was a nice day today. And today, I'm a woman entrepreneur, and I can't wait to hear what Danny has to say about the 10 secret things that you never repeat, that successful people never repeat. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Catherine. And so next up is Miss Ellie.
Hi, Ellie Walsh on the other side of the house from Carol in upstate New York. I'm glad to be here. Let's do it.
All right, next up, Jamie.
I'm next. Hi.
Yes, you are.
I'm on the other side of the house from Kimberly here in New Jersey, and I also, surprisingly, am an online entrepreneur. I have no idea where this conversation is going to go tonight, and that's one of the most beautiful things about our Hangouts. We all learn and grow and expand every single time that we get online here, and we hope that you do too, or expand or explode, one or the other.
Either way, it's all good, right, Jamie? That's awesome. Okay, so up next we have our newest member of our panel, and that is Mark.
Well, hey, everybody. My name is Mark Seymour, and I live in central Indiana. And I'm kind of new to network marketing and marketing in general, but I've always been able to pick some golden nuggets out of the meeting that we have, and I'm glad to be part of the team and part of the panel. So with that being said, we'll pass it to the next person.
Okay, and that leaves Michelle.
Hi everyone, I am Michelle Eves. I am also an online entrepreneur, and I'm on the other side of my birds who they're not quiet today, that's for sure. So I cannot wait for this discussion because I'm probably repeating all of these 10 things, so I want to know what I'm not supposed to say. Thank you.
Okay, so tonight's topic, and you guys are going to see me read stuff because I don't have, the greatest memory. I'm not going to remember everything because, like every entrepreneur, I'm certainly not perfect. And so the topic tonight is 10 things successful people never go back, never repeat. They never do it again. Lesson learned, they move on. So the first one on the list is returning to what hasn't worked before. And, whether it's a job or a relationship, an X is an X for a reason, right? So you don't go back to something that wasn't working. If you tried fixing it and it didn't work, then you need to cut your losses and move on. And so, that's just common sense, I guess. So the next thing that successful people don't repeat is doing anything that requires them to be someone they're not. And everything that we do, we have to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Am I suited for it? Does it fit me? Do I really love what this is? And a perfect example of that would be I was a hairdresser for 10 years. And I didn't hate it, but I really didn't love it. I did it because it was like the family business. If you were a female, you were a hairdresser in my family. So I went out to the beach with a cousin one day, and she said, hey, I'm a hairdresser too. It was easy. Go to school, be a hairdresser. So that's what I did. But I didn't really love it. So I did that for 10 years before I got into being a chef, which is what I really love to do. It's like I could get dirty. I didn't have to wear heels. I didn't have to put on makeup. It was great. So when you're in a job that makes you, or even in a relationship that makes you be who you're not, it's very uncomfortable, and it's just not a great place to be, business-wise or personal-wise. So the next thing a successful person never repeats is trying to change another person. You can't change people. People have to change themselves. And you know, when you let somebody just be themselves, then you give him or her the freedom to experience the bad consequences of what you maybe see them doing, and you want to change them because you see them going down the wrong path, perhaps. So you have to let them make their own mistakes, and you know, that's like when you have kids, you got to let them make their own mistakes, or they're never going to cut those apron strings. So it's another part of growing as an entrepreneur, is just be who you are, and don't try to change the people around you. If the circumstances are changeable, then change that, you know, or change yourself. And so the next thing on the list here is number 4, and this is, you know, successful people know that you can't please everyone. This is a biggie. We all run around. Not to discount the guys, but as women, we generally all run around trying to please everybody, make everybody happy, make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and so on and so forth. And you get to a point where you realize that, you know, this one's not happy over here, but this one is, and this one's somewhat happy, but that one really isn't happy at all. And it'll drive you nuts trying to make everybody happy. So what you have to do is you have to please yourself. And when you're in a state of being happy with yourself, people around you will want to emulate that. You know, you're giving out that vibe, so it's going to be around you. So number 5 on this list is successful people choose. They don't choose short-term comfort over long-term benefit. And so what that is, you know, they want something. Successful people know that they want something that requires maybe a painful, time-limited step that they have to do. They don't mind going through that process because they know that the benefits down the road are going to be substantial compared to instant gratification. You know, entrepreneurs do what most people won't do to get what most people want. Isn't that how the saying goes? Something like that, right? And so that is the difference, though, between successful and unsuccessful people. Unsuccessful people, both personally and professionally, don't want to put the work in to reap the benefits down the road, which is what all of us know. You know, that's the way to be in life, is to be able to create a residual income by working really, really hard now and doing all the work. Maybe in a very short period of time, but doing all the hustle that goes along with that, and not going out and not going to the weekend barbecue and stuff like that, in order to build a business that's going to give you something that's going to last and give you a regular residual income month after month because you've already done the work. That's just the best idea in life ever. I just love the idea of residual income. So before I go on to the next 5 here, I should mention that where I got this list was from a book by Dr. Henry Cloud, and it was written in 2014, just a couple of years ago. And so what Dr. Cloud says is these are the 10 doorways of learning that high performers go through, never to return again. And I just wanted to mention that just because it seems important. We're taking all this from Dr. Cloud's work, and I thought it was really interesting that there was 10 things, this list of 10 things that he wrote the book on that a lot of successful people go through to get to where they are. So let's carry on to number 6, and that is successful people never trust someone or something that appears flawless or perfect. You know, if it looks too good to be true, it generally is. And that really leads into the next one, which is doing due diligence, because that kind of goes hand in hand. If it looks too perfect, it probably is. So therefore, you do have to get in there and do your due diligence to be sure that whatever it is that you're looking at, whether it's an offer or you know, something that's been offered to you online, a new marketing package or something, you want to do your due diligence to make sure that it is backed by successful people, by people that have a good reputation, and that it is going to work, that it has worked for other people, and so that it'll work for you. So just because something looks really good on paper doesn't always mean that it is going to work. So perfect just doesn't exist in anything. So do your due diligence. So those were actually 2 points. And the next one here is successful people never take their eyes off the big picture. And most entrepreneurs usually begin with the end goal in mind and always have that end goal in their vision, because that's how they get there. Taking your eyes off of what it is that you want to achieve is like trying to drive down the road and not knowing where you're going. You're just, you know, you're driving. You're just driving along and you don't know where you're going. It's not going to get you anywhere. You have to know where you're going. So you have to know what it is in that big picture that you want. You have to create your whole story, and you have to keep the vision for that and hold it in your mind every single day and look at it all the time, because that will bring you closer to it. Number 9, successful people fail to ask why they are where they are, because entrepreneurs ultimately know that they are the creators of their own world, and so they always know who has the answer to that question. I am where I am because of the decisions that I have made. And you have to know that in your life, in your personal life, and in your business life, that you are the one who is creating your life by the thoughts and the actions that you develop over time. And you have to know that the only person that can answer that question, why am I where I am, whether it's a negative or a positive, is you. You are where you are because of what you decided to do, or not do, for that matter. And number 10, successful people forget, or don't forget rather, that their inner life determines their outer success. And that goes along with basically what I just said here, is the good life always comes from within. It's not external. It may look like it is external with all the goodies that we could want in this life, the jet skis and the mansions and the trips and all that kind of stuff, but none of that creates inner happiness. And you know, your inner happiness shows on the outside because it glows from within, if it is there. So, you know, a good thing to remember, I think, is sometimes mistakes happen. They're unavoidable, but they're there for a reason. They're there to teach us lessons, and you need to be aware of when you're coming up on a mistake, and be aware that you can do a course correction. As a matter of fact, it's important that you know that you're always going to be doing that course correction in order to get to where you want to be. You know, success is not a straight line. It is back and forth and back and forth. So repeating the mistake again is truly a choice. It really is optional. So don't suffer from your mistakes. Just acknowledge that you've made mistakes, that you've had hit a bump in the road, and find the lesson in it. There's lessons in everything that we do, all the wrong things that we do, all the mistakes that we do, all the pain that we cause ourselves. There are lessons there, so learn what the lesson is and create a better life for yourself out of that. So learn your mistakes by never repeating them. And so with that, I'm going to pass this discussion on to whoever would like to jump in.
Okay, I'll jump in. I was feverishly writing, so I'm going to have to look at my notes. I love them all. I love them all. They are basically the basis for living a happy life, in my opinion. And specifically, like, you can't please everyone. Holy crap. You know, everybody has their own pain, needs, wants, desires, and there's no way that one size fits all. And, you know, even in like business and prospecting and recruiting, you have to find out what each specific person's pain and needs and desires are, so that you can frame your responses. And so, you know, there's no two people alike in this world, and we need to remember that we cannot please everyone. No matter how hard we try, it will just make us miserable, and we'll become miserable people, and we don't want that. Don't choose short-term comfort over long-term. You know, that kind of reminds me of the SEO, organic traffic, versus like paid traffic, paid clicks and stuff. It's, do you want to put great content out there, let it rank, and let it be found by the right people, or do you want short-term comfort right now and purchase those, you know, leads or clicks or whatever, who may not necessarily be interested at all? So, you know, that instantly brought up marketing in my mind when you said that. But let's see, doing due diligence. Due diligence. You know, as entrepreneurs, we have access to a lot of communities, and, you know, this person will suggest that, or this person will suggest this, and, you know, even if you're not part of a specific community and you read a blog post and somebody mentions this program or whatever, I Google everything now. Everything. Reviews, forums, everything before I download something on my computer. You know, I don't want a virus, and most of the stuff out there, they have viruses. Due diligence, basically, the viruses in your life is just trusting somebody or something just because they say that it has this great result. It helps you rank. It helps you this. It helps you that. I've learned too many things from doing stuff like that, and I've crashed so many computers. So I love Google. Never take your eyes off the big picture. You know, like you said, driving. If you don't know where you're going, then you're just driving around aimlessly. And, you know, I think that's why people walk around miserable now. You know, so many people that you run into every day is miserable. They walk around in a routine, in a rut. They don't have dreams. They don't have desires anymore. And so they're walking around aimlessly. And who wants to go back to that? That should be something that you never do, especially as an entrepreneur, is take your eyes off that vision, off of where you want to go and where you want to end up. And don't forget, the inner life determines the outer success. Mindset. Definitely mindset. What you are thinking is what's going to happen. So if you're thinking negative, that's what you're going to bring into your life. I don't have money. Why can't I have money? Why don't I, I can't pay my rent. Well, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to have money. As opposed to thinking positively, like, oh my gosh, this business is so successful, or this business will become, it will flourish, it'll do this, it'll be that, and just positivity breeds positivity, negativity breeds negativity. And so, like, also I wanted to mention, and then I'll shut up, the trying. People, I'll try this business, I'll try that. But, if you're going to try, you're also going to have one foot out the door. So you're not actually trying anything. So inside, whatever you are thinking, feeling, doing on the inside manifests on the outside. So great subject, Danny. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. That was a really good point about the. Oh my God! I just drew a blank. Help!
Well, she made so many really good points. Let me just jump in here. Danny, just shut the mic off. I'll take care of it from here. Michelle said something. She said something about. That's what Danny's trying to say. No, really. I need to take her off my screen because I'm just gonna laugh at her the whole time. Okay, so I wanted to know. She brought something up. Like could anybody go back to that routine, to that rut? Could anybody on this panel, after going to business for yourself, could you ever go back to just saying, screw it, I'm just going to go back to a job and that's it? Like, could you completely bail on that dream and that goal? No way, right? Like, I cannot understand that when people just give up so quickly on themselves and on what they want and go back to the rut, as Michelle said, the rut. But that's all I heard her say. No, I'm only kidding. I just want to see Danny laugh again. I think that there's a certain amount of mistakes that we all make as entrepreneurs, business people. Like, it's almost like you have to. It's like trial by fire or something. If you don't go through those mistakes, and that's probably why those 10 are reoccurring in everybody's, experiences, because it's like you have to go through a certain amount of them in order to get through the other side and learn that lesson. I don't want to call it a mistake. It's a lesson, If you don't learn that lesson, then, you're bound to repeat it, What's the quote? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you're never going to do that again? Oh, somebody requoted it that way, but those of you who know it, then that's funny. But if not, but what I wrote down feverishly as I was going through this, because we don't really actually know what we're going to say until we have this conversation, which is really pretty awesome. I mean, Danny knew what she was going to say, but I didn't. This is just coming of the conversation. So she was talking about being yourself in business, and of course we emulate other people to a certain degree, or learn things from people, or pick up things along the way. But as a mompreneur, it immediately reminded me of a story in Kung Fu Panda about Sifu and Tigress when she was first training. He's very rigid. He's about this big. He's like a little rat or something. And he's teaching Tigress, a tiger, how to do correct Kung Fu, right? And she's doing awesome, and she's a big cat. She's crazy fast and doing all this stuff. And he keeps saying, no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Your form is wrong. This is not, it wasn't traditional. It wasn't the right way, the way that he was learn to do it. And so she couldn't please him. She just kept doing it with her own sort of, flair to it and messing it up, And so finally she got really depressed, like, I'll never be Sifu. I'll never be him. I could never be as good as him. I could never do things the way he does. And she kind of just got down on herself. And then one day, guess what? She had to use her kung fu training. She was in a fight for her life, for crying out loud. And she tried to fight as she was taught. She recalled everything he said, stood like he said, hit like he said, attacked like he said, and she got the crap beat out of her. She failed. She was failing. And finally, she got ticked enough and just broke through and was like, that's it. I'm not Sifu. I'm Tigress. I'm going to do it Tigress's way. And she went out and shocked everybody. And she, annihilated it and learned, you know what? I don't have to be just like Sifu. I can be me and still get it done. And you know what? Sifu was like, whoa, there's a new cat in town, There is another way, and it's okay to do it your way. And it's okay because your way is for you to do. You can't be Sifu. You can only be Tigress. I cannot be. As many times as I say hi before I speak, I will not be Ellie Walsh, Try. Got so many videos that I just leave that are from the dashboard of my car. I can't do it Ellie's way. I can only do it my way. And that's okay. Right? That's it. Anybody wants Kung Fu Panda analogies when it comes?
That's priceless.
Call me, all right?
And the good point that Michelle did make was about trying, because I have to say that was a word that I said a lot. I will try, I will try, I will try. And when I find myself saying it now, I change it to, you're not going to try, you're going to do. And I make myself do. So next up, I'm out of here.
Oh, well, I'll see. Oh, go ahead, Carol. Did you get stuck? Oh, I'm totally confused.
Go ahead, you go.
I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I'll say hi, I'm Melanie Walsh. And of course, I'm laughing at, I didn't watch Kung Fu Panda, sorry. I don't have a 2.5-year-old. But usually we do go. We just haven't been to movies, because I like the kids' movies, I do. They usually have the better stories. Of course, as usual, keep saying, mistakes. My saying for years now is there are no mistakes. There are only opportunities. And when I can look at them like that, because everything is, and Jamie called it a lesson, and I don't even like the word lesson because I didn't like school. That's probably why I don't like the word lesson. It's just an opportunity, and it depends what the freak I do with it. That's what it comes down to. I can utilize it or I cannot. And doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. Looking for a different result. Einstein says that. And yeah, like Michelle said, this was like a blueprint here of living your life. That word try is a funny word, okay? I know we all love to say, oh, you can't try. And I know Yoda says it too, all right? Do or don't do. But I think you have to try until you find what you're passionate about. See, when Yoda says to this guy, do or don't do, it's because he's talking about like their life, their world. So it's not like there's not a gray area in there. I think there's a gray area for a while when when you're in here first discovering where do you want to be and where do you want to go. Like everybody calls, we all call ourselves entrepreneurs. I actually don't like the word entrepreneur. And I'm like, I'm doing online business, or I'm a merchant. That's what I really am. I'm an online merchant to some degree. And it's about finally connecting those dots. So one of those things was, you can't please everybody, and then another one is, and you got to be yourself. And I think you're in trying mode while you're doing that. And I don't like to beat up trying mode. I really don't. Okay, but when you set out, because I did things, and I tried. Yes, I did them, but I didn't like them, so I quit. So that's the other thing. People have a tendency to overuse that word "try" in this industry and quit and quitter. Like I went to nursing school, and I quit. Okay, because I didn't belong there. All right. So I guess I tried it, right? And I was like, "Whoa, I'm out of here." So you want to call me a quitter? Like it's stupid. So some of these words we overuse and play with them, and I would love to see that people take back the meanings. Here's the deal: would I ever go back to how I 9 to 5? No. Okay. As a matter of fact, some of us were on a call last night, and we were talking about that. Most people are watching TV or what have you. They're not on that call that we were on, And I thought of that and thought, it's been so long since I've been addicted to TV. I don't know if I was ever really a TV addict. But then there was a while here we got caught up in the news, which is, you got to be really nuts to do that. Several years ago. No, I'd never go back to that. Never. It's not. It's that you're not really living life. So these things that we call mistakes and failures and all this other stuff. I was on a call this morning where they talked about if you're not having what you call failures, you're never going to have success. It just ain't going to happen. Okay? 'Cause life's not this freaking bubble. It's not a bubble, and especially business. But maybe life is a bubble when you do that 9 to 5, and you come home and you watch TV, you eat dinner, and you do the same thing every day. Every day, just to some degree, it's a bubble or a box, like that cube. I don't think it's fun. I really don't. So somebody was saying, like, you see people, they don't look like they have much life in them, and there's not much. I don't think there's much oxygen in that frickin' bubble. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Wow, I agree with that one.
I'll go next. Well, guys, I just wanted to add a couple things, and I think what we went over tonight was really good. But I think it's really important to, and since I'm new in the whole scheme of things, so I'm learning as we go and learning how to do things here and there. And if you can just learn a little bit more each day than what you knew the day before and make some progress, you're going to be in a position where you feel good about what's going on and excited about the future. But when it comes to stop trying to make everybody happy and be yourself, I think when you push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and you start doing the things that are a little bit foreign to you to help generate leads and help build your business, like maybe do videos or things of that nature, where you're putting yourself out there for the public to see. I think it's real important to have that your own personality when you're doing that type of thing, and you want to show people that you're being yourself and you're not trying to be somebody else that you're not, because that'll show through in a heartbeat when people see you trying to do that. So all you have to do is make a commitment to try to do a few things that maybe push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, and then as you do that more and more, you'll become more comfortable at it and better at it, and you'll get more confidence as time goes on, and you can really put on some good videos and do some good promotions that way. But it all stems from taking that first step and showing people that you're being yourself, because when you try to fake something and be somebody you're not, it's going to show through really quick, and people are going to catch up on that and realize that you're trying to pull something over their eyes. So you know, don't be afraid to go out there and make a mistake here or there and learn from it, and so that you can take that information the next day and you can correct what you see that might be something you need to work on, and do it a little bit better until you get to the point where you think, wow, this is pretty good. You know, I'm doing okay now. I don't need to do any more critiquing. I'm to the point where I'd like to be. So I think that's real important, and that's something that I'm playing with right now. I've just started putting a couple videos out, and to reach out to people that are interested in different aspects of my business. So I thought that was real important. And I actually thought all the aspects of tonight's training were important, but as far as I'm concerned, I just kind of thought that one specific area where, you know, just don't be afraid to be yourself. And if you're going to make a mistake, who cares? People like that honesty, and they see that honesty, and they relate to that because we're all human. But when you're trying to be somebody you're not, it shows really, really quick, and people pick up on it, and then you have that hurdle that you have to get over, which is very hard to get over when people think that you're trying to be somebody that you're not. So that's all I've got to say, so whoever's next can go ahead and take over.
I'll say something now. All the points were taken really well about what Danny was saying, but I like the ones where it says two of them one was trying to change someone else. You can't do that. You have to change. You work on yourself and not on somebody else, because they won't change unless they're ready to change. So you're just hitting your head on a wall if you try to change somebody else, and that'll make you more frustrated. And then the other point was you can't please everyone. And that's one thing all my life I was trying to please everybody, but now I'm knowing that you can't do that either. You have to please yourself and do things for yourself and not to please them, because you won't please everybody. It's impossible. There's too many people in this world to please everybody. So that's all I wanted to say for now.
Well, I guess it's me. I'm going to bring a couple of things together. I hope that a couple of people have said. First of all, I'm going to relate back to that phone call that we were on last night that Ellie spoke of. And I'm also going to refer to what Mark said about faking something and being something you're not. It's not going to work. And what I got from last night, and what seems to be the bottom line of what Mark said, is that in order to reach a new point or be at a place or maintain yourself at a place, you need to have a place to be and own that place. To me, that was big, very, very big, because it relates back to self-esteem, self-image, and, you know, we can all say, oh yeah, you know, someday I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. Do you really see yourself in that spot? When these, well, I'm not going to talk about somebody else. But for example, am I going to say, you know, by next month I will have a team of 200 people? No, that's fake. It's not going to happen. I don't see myself there. I don't have that place for myself. I don't believe that I can do that. I don't have the wherewithal to do that. I don't have the knowledge and the tools to do that with. Do I see myself with a larger team? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's just an example. But no matter what it is that we're thinking of, a relationship, an income, a business, a home, whatever it is, we have to be able to see ourselves in that spot and also own that spot. And that's pretty much what I have to say. It could be something physical. It can be something mental, you know, where we want to be mentally, or both. But that I think kind of fits in with the last thing that Danny was saying about the inner life determines the outer results. So that's my 2 cents.
And you know what? To bounce off of that, that is actually what it all comes down to. That very last point is the inner life determines the outer life. And I think that's what most of us are striving for here, is just a better outer life. And so on that note, does anybody have anything else they want to add tonight? No? Okay, so what I did forget to mention tonight was that we do have the chat page, we do have the page open, and I don't know if anybody's been chatting there or not, but you can leave your questions there if you have any questions for any of us, or you can just get back to the person who invited you here. We all are entrepreneurs. We're all online, even though Ellie doesn't like that word. We're all business people online. And we all have our own businesses, but we work together, help each other out, you know, and do a lot of this trainings. We're all in the community of MLSP, and we're all very excited about being there because it's a great tool to move our businesses forward with. So if you have any questions, get back to the person who invited you here, and we will chat again next Tuesday, same time, same place. Bye for now.